You God? What are you talking about? I said, yeah, I'm God and God is me. The same divine spark that created everything in the entire universe is the same divine spark that's inside of every atom inside of my body.
He was trying to form back a great Rome. And a lot of people was following the Gnostic teachings, and then you got all the paganism going. So he figured a way to combine Christianity, East, all these pagan holidays, and made them relevant within the Gnostic teaching to recreate the Holy Roman Church. You know what I'm saying?
Who then started analyzing a lot of these copied and recopied and recopied and recopied and recopied texts, and started analyzing which ones to keep and which ones to keep out, which ones to keep and everything. And let's make this into an actual canonized book. We'll take this, put that in here. We'll take this one. No, that talks about aliens. We don't want the book Enoch in here because it's talking about aliens.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of High Frequency Convo. I'm your host, as always, Wes Hunt, and this is my co-host, business partner, and big brother,
Just the God.
And this is the podcast where we spark constant conversation. This is episode 42. I know it looks kind of different. This is High Frequency Reaction, baby. High Frequency Reaction. And we can do things a little differently today because we're talking about I know it's going to be a controversial topic, but it is what it is. I mean, this is what we do on High Frequency Convo. We don't run from controversy. We just talk from my perspective, from my hypothesis, which educated guesses, or our facts. So you talk about, and it's Billy Carson. It's gonna be Billy Carson on the Bible, but it's Bible myth. We're gonna keep it real. It's Bible and myth. We're gonna be touching on the topic about that a little bit. And if whoever's consistent subscribers and watches, and speaking of that, like, share, and subscribe if you're getting any value out the content. Like, share, and subscribe if you're getting any entertainment, information, motivation, inspiration, anything out the content. Spam the comments, hit us, and get engaged with us more. But if y'all frequent viewers, y'all know he be on it. When it comes to this topic. So, and but we're gonna talk about it. But we're gonna be reacting to some short clips from Billy Carson, but really kind of giving our take on it, and of course putting the questions in. But subscribe to ETW TV, subscribe to H.F.C podcast, follow me on SoundCloud, West Hunt LG, follow me on Instagram, Wolf Hunt 718. I'm gonna get right into it, and this is H.F.C episode 42. You know what I mean? So this is Billy Carson, the origins of the Bible. And I say, for people that disagree, chime in. Well, it is what it is. It'll be going on.
I am God. You God? What are you talking about? I said, yeah, I'm God and God is me. The same divine spark that created everything in the entire universe is the same divine spark that's inside of every atom inside of my body. And so by that method, I am God and God is me. And so are you. And so is this young lady as well. We're all the same. We're all part of that same one divine consciousness. That threw him off right away. Then because he's a program code, he couldn't even conceive of what I had just told him. He didn't even have an epiphany with that. He went right back into his pitch. And I said, okay, I'll listen to you if you can answer some questions. Can you answer some questions? And I said, when was the Bible written? And he goes, it was written.
I work with Joe, man. Shout out to Jehovah's Witness people I work around. They cool, man, nice people. But I tell them, do you understand? I said, you ever read Deuteronomy? Because she's like, do you know this and this and that? She's like, give me anything with why God create wars. And they were stumped. So I like, why would he say go get in there and kill every man, woman, and child? What God would do? They be stumped. I ain't gonna lie, they be stumped. But I'm gonna let him go on. But that shit is crazy.
Thousands of years ago, I said, oh man, I said, no, the Bible wasn't written thousands of years ago. I said, do you even know who wrote the Bible? Oh yeah, Paul, Peter, John. I said, oh my God, listen, man. I said, you happen to stumble into one of the world's foremost experts on biblical texts, the Torah, the ancient tablets in the world. That's who you're talking to right now. Do you understand that the Bible was not written by any of the disciples? He got flabbergasted. I'm like, dude, listen to me. The disciples, if you were to do your studies, they were actually illiterate men. They couldn't read or write. There was nobody standing there transcribing every sentence that they've spoken either. How did the Bible come along? Even including the Old Testament. You've heard me say this before.
Like, and I also like anybody that dispute this. Like, look at Billy Carson. And this man don't talk out his ass. Keeping it real with you. So, like, if whoever believed the disciples wrote the, you know what I mean? Whoever believed that wrote the Bible, if they was fucking in text, going back to facts, because all this shit is jotted out through text. If they was illiterate, like, why the fuck? How can they write a Bible?
They got them stories from books that was written tablets that was written thousands of years before the Bible, and they just retold the stories.
That's what it's looking like. I'm not gonna hold you.
And I guarantee you, Billy they just retold the same stories, especially when they created the modern day Bible that we know. Which, when Constantine the Great had convened, when he had when they convened the Council of Nicaea, and they decided what books will go into the modern day Bible, and then we got the new Bible, leaving out the book written by
the New Testament.
Actually, remember, the New Testament is in these books. That's how we get. You know what I mean? But like, once again, these people obviously wasn't the most smart people, because they left in certain things that complicated it and made you start to speculate. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the beginning, there was gods, and the sons of gods mated with the daughters of man. And in those times, it was giants, and the giants were Nephilims. These things were never explained, but then the giants pop up again when David is fighting the giants. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like they combine a whole bunch of stories. But I'll let Billy Carson say a little more clear, and we could build on it.
They copied the majority of that stuff from the Enuma Elish, the H.F.C, the Mahabharata. You have some of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, right? You have like, for example, the 42 Laws of Mayat. You know, that's where you get the 10 Commandments that were extracted from that information. You have the Bhagavad Gita, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. You have the Sumerian tablets that are outside of the Enuma Elish. There's many tablets that exist. The Code of Hammurabi, the Epic of Gilgamesh. I mean, that can just keep going and going and going. And I said, then you have the Emerald Tablets, where Jesus' teachings are identical copies of Thoth's teachings from the ancient Kemetic mystery schools taught 50,000 years ago.
And if you look at our episode on Billy Carson on the Emerald Tablets, he given it more of an elaborate discussion about the comparison of the Jesus Christ and what he said and what Thoth was saying. So go check that episode out. I'm gonna link this episode to that.
Which is now known as Egypt. And I could see the steam coming out of this guy's ears. He couldn't even conceive what the heck I was telling him. And I said, do you know that the Bible was written thousands of years after the people were long gone, dead, buried, bones disintegrated, and everything else on the ground? He said, no, what are you talking about? I said, listen to me, man. The Bible was written from 100 AD to 900 AD. And who wrote the Bible? Those were followers of Thoth. These people didn't write a Bible, by the way. What they did was they started discovering in different caves and different little makeshift buildings that existed a long time ago, these vases with scriptures and cylinder scrolls and papyruses and tablets, and they started collecting them, and they started transcribing that information onto paper, parchment paper, and so forth. And so that text, that information over time would be studied by the Gnostics. Even in more time, much later, you have then the Coptic Christians, and then you also have the councils that were formed, like for one is the Council of Nicaea, who then started analyzing a lot of these copied and recopied and recopied and recopied and recopied texts, and started analyzing which ones to keep and which ones to keep out, which ones to keep. They were thinking, let's make this into an actual canonized book. We'll take this, put that in here. We'll take this one. No, that talks about aliens. We don't want the book Enoch in here because he's talking about aliens. Right. Let's leave that one out. We don't want the myth of Adapa in here because he's talking about aliens. We don't want that in here. That's the book of Adam. We don't want that in here. So you have all these apocryphal texts that were kept out, right? And the Council of Nicaea coordinate and create this this hodgepodge of a book based on hand-picked content.
That's why
curated content that they wanted that would allow them to still maintain control over the people.
It's still within the loophole, right? Of they telling us the truth, but they telling us the truth in pieces and not in the right order and all that.
And I don't even think Constantine was thinking that deeply. I think, remember when Constantine convened the Council of Nicaea, he was trying to form back a great Rome, and a lot of people was following the Gnostic teachings, and then you got all the paganism going. So he figured a way to combine Christianity, East, all these pagan holidays, and made them relevant within the Gnostic teaching to recreate the Holy Roman Church. You know what I'm saying? So I think his whole idea with that Bible was just for control, for Eli.
Do you believe in the Bible?
I believe that the stories in the Bible are true. I don't believe in how people interpret the Bible. I think people are interpreting the Bible wrong, completely wrong. And I did that for many different ways. First I interpreted them as parables, then I interpreted it as not being completely truthful at all. Now I understand that they are not, with research, and I haven't read all of those books, but I've dug into the Emerald Tablets, and I've dug into the Book of Adap, and I've dug into the Gilgamesh, and from those things, those stories, the Book of the Dead, those stories, I haven't completely read them, so I want to be honest, but those stories are the same stories that's in the Bible, 50,000 years before the Bible is written. So when I started, and then when you reading these stories and you seeing like I was telling Rosie yesterday, two things because Rosie fucked with me the other day. She was like, you had me thinking Jesus Christ didn't exist. I said, because you know what I mean? At one point I didn't, but I understand that he did. Yahshua was his name, right? Understanding that, I remember when Bugs told me.
There's also a thing they say, there's a chance he could be a demigod.
Yeah, he could. No, he is.
I mean, half Anunnaki, half.
I agree, he is.
Okay, go with call it.
No. Yeah. So, and I can't understand, like, when you read these tablets, right, and you reading about Asar and Seth fighting, and you thinking that shit has nothing to do with the Cain and Abel story. But when you get the whole story, all the stories add into each other. But when you read the Bible, they talk nothing about Asar and Seth. They talk nothing about none of that shit that was going on, but all of them stories.
They do. Cain and Abel.
No. Cain and Abel are two different people from Asar and Seth.
But it's telling the same story, but
two different stories.
But it's two different stories, but two brothers that turn on each other.
Yeah. But they're two different brothers that turn on each other in two different times. Yeah. It happened again because when you read the Emerald Tablets, and
hold up, that's just something. I would say these niggas transfer consciousness. What if that was the same?
But I don't think so, because when Anu comes back and you see the tablets, he's like, yo, look at what happened. You know what I'm saying? First Seth kills his brother Asar, and then Cain and Abel. He said, look at all the murder and shit that's went on since we got into this planet. So he's describing two separate events.
As accounts two different events.
So when I started seeing it, I'm like, wait a minute. So these stories and this story's all I didn't. I'm like, then you start realizing, and then like you, I think you just said with the Deuteronomy. When I started reading Deuteronomy and paying attention to Deuteronomy, and the man's Yahweh, God, which is really Enlil, and he's telling these people, go murder man, woman, and child, kill all the animals, and the land is yours. And then at certain points he's saying, bring back 14 sheep and 14 virgins for me. What the fuck I need 14 sheep and 14 virgins for? And I started thinking about these things. And then at one point when he's debating with Moses, and Moses is like, yo, they don't want to kill for you no more. And he's like, to tell them then they won't have that land, but their children will have it, and I will let their children get it, because their children will know good or evil. And I'm like, why would God need the children not to know good or evil? Then it dawned on me, it was clear as day. Because then he could tell them whatever fuckery he wants them to do, and they won't question it, because they wouldn't know what's right and what's wrong. But their parents already did so much killing, they don't feel like doing it no more. They know what's wrong.
See, this is the thing with this. It came from a long path for me. But to answer the questions, do I believe in the Bible? How about this? No, like, I believe in the Bible. No, not in the context. They push it out. Do I believe in the Bible as a whole? Yes and no. The reason I say yes and no, just because what he just said, Meaning that I don't believe in all the shit they pushed, the agenda they pushed. Even when we get to that, even to the full point of the whole religion thing, to each his own, but that ain't my thing. But what I do believe is that, as Billy Carson just said, as he just articulated, there's so much. It's a fucking history account of truth from this Bible, from this place. So if you want to be honest, you can learn a lot, and there is truth. So if you want to be like technical, there definitely is truth in the Bible. Why? It's a come from them, come from that, come from that. You just said it. They took from everything.
The truth is there, but it's not the truth that you think it is.
It's not in order, not the truth they think it is. It may have alien spice in it, but don't get it twisted. The truth is there. They bring back 14 virgins. The truth is there. Like you said, like, Jesus did exist, of course. Moses and all that. The truth is there. You feel I'm just saying, have different names, what the case may be. That's why I said I never did put different names, but I do. But what leads me to my next thing? Well, we're gonna go into that in a minute, because the book of Eli always rings in my mind.
Enoch. Oh, the book of the movie,
book of Eli.
It's very important. It's very important. Very important. Very important.
In my mind these days, like that shit was dropping jewels.
Because if you could take that knowledge and information and misinterpret it to the people, you could control the fucking people.
And and that's gonna be our second part. But yo, last thing, why don't quick fast? Like I said, do you believe in the Bible?
Not in the way they present it, no.
Me, not in the way they present it, but yes, and meaning there is truth in the Bible. You understand me? Like, that's how I like to play. They like to play that too. Because for a minute, I didn't believe in nothing. You know what I mean? About I was like, I have no. You know what I'm trying to say? That's how I like to play. They're very tricky. So it's like, yo, keep your eyes on. We got more. I mean, this whole thing, Billy Carson explained it. It's like, he's like our third co-host. I mean, because nobody could give you the information like he can. So, part 2's coming up, and the part 2 is, what was the purpose of the Bible and religion in general? Let's get it.